Hi, my name's Jody Dean, and in this video I'm going to talk about if it's common to feel like you're going crazy when you're having a spiritual awakening. Now, I am a spiritual coach and I help seekers and light workers and anyone actually who's going through spiritual awakening who feels like their life is more important, more meaningful than what they've been told. That's what I do. So listen, if you're feeling like you know, going slightly mad, that you're going like loopy, that you're having thoughts that don't make sense, it could be that you're in fact having a spiritual awakening. Synchronicities, that's a classic one, right? Oh my God, there's all these synchronicities happening. And for the average Joe, the average person out there who is not connected to themselves, who is not connected to their inner realm, it's going to sound like mumbo jumbo. It's going to sound like crazy talk. Like this person is making this stuff up to add significance to their lives because they don't feel significant or something like that, right? And you can go down the whole kind of psychiatric, psychological problems route. And as with many things that are out of the norm, which are anomalous, they can easily be put to be pigeonholed, to be categorized into kind of neurological or psychological disorders, and it's in the realm of the clinicians then, and you know, we'll just find the right pill, you know, or electro shock treatment that can you know, make them forget who they are and forget themselves and lose their memory or something, or just suppress the symptoms, and then they'll just fit back into society and become normal, or as close to normal that is as manageable as possible, right? And I'm here to tell you it's so much more diverse and complex and layered and nuanced than that. And the spiritual awakening path is full of mystery, magic, wonder, as we start to unravel the programming, the societal conditioning, the ancestral patterning, and wake up from that which has been imposed, from old ideas, from limiting stories. And guess what? The world is full of magic. Life is full of wonder. We get to reclaim our inner child. We get to play again. We get to observe nature. We get to rediscover our wildness, which is one of the most enjoyable things to do. Yes, it activates joy. Rediscovering our wildness activates joy, and it can activate you. So, you know, next time you find yourself in your bedroom growling like a wolf or howling like a wolf, that's okay. You're releasing, you're letting yourself go, right? Next time you find yourself talking to yourself in the bathroom, it's okay. We all do it. Newsflash. Next time you find yourself looking at numbers and going, oh my God, is that an activation? 1111 222. It's okay. This is happening to everyone who's having a spiritual awakening. You start to realize that the whole of reality, the whole of the universe is communicating with you, right? That this is a dynamic dance, an interaction. This is not some kind of mechanical 3D material Newtonian sandbox reality where everything is just logical and rational. No. And this is partly about reclaiming who we are and reclaiming the divine feminine and the divine masculine, and opening our intuitive senses, becoming receptive, feeling and breathing, coming in connection with our bodies, connection with our deepest psyche, connection with who we really are, and allowing this. And ultimately, the spiritual awakening process has been described as a kind of holy madness. I read this amazing book when I was 16 called Crazy Wisdom, and it expressed and described and explained a lot about this kind of holy madness, particularly from masters and saints who've behaved strangely, right, or said what appear to the common person, the average person, to be crazy statements, but we're actually flipping everything on its head and helping us wake up to the truth of reality. And that's when I got interested in Zen, because many of these masters in the book were Zen practitioners, Zen masters. And it's really that whole tradition of Zen is very much this kind of crazy wisdom philosophy and ethos. And you'd have these situations where, for example, stories, let's say, of Zen masters throwing their students off at the top of a one-story building. And that would be the moment that the student attained Satori, which is like the flash of the true nature of existence, because their loving master is doing something so inconceivable to them. But somehow in that flipping and inversion, they glimpse the true reality. And I'm not saying that we should go around throwing people off buildings or anything of the sort. It's just to illustrate the paradox and the contradiction that comes with, starting to turn everything on its head and going into the wild, the unknown, the uncertain, and reassessing what we believe to be true and what we believe reality actually is. And when we actually have the courage to do that, and the deep curiosity springs forth within us, well, guess what? The world is your oyster, because you get to choose then, you get to decide how you live your life, what you do, how you do it, how you be. And hopefully that is a loving place, that is a kind place, that is a compassionate place, and that you can expand within that. So back to the subject of crazy. Am I going crazy? So it can really feel like you are going crazy because you're going out on a limb. So the other thing is that when you start to open up multidimensionally, which can happen as an organic kind of effect of the spiritual awakening process, well, then the whole other Pandora's box opens, which is the psychic. And so you might start to hear other people's thoughts. Crazy. You might start to feel what other people are feeling around you as you develop an empathic sense, or reawaken and remember your empathic sense. You might see things, you might see lights, spirits. I've had so many experiences like this over the years. And of course, this is totally outside of the accepted idea about what's real, right? If you start talking about that, like I felt when I had my Sirius experience, and I left my body and found myself in the Sirius star system, true story. When I came back, I was doing a rebirthing breathwork training. I was hesitant to share that experience with the other participants, because it's like, how do you even contextualize, how do you even start? Like, yeah, by the way, I just kind of like left my body in this 3D world. This 3D body here was just a fragment in time of just one aspect of a multidimensional infinite consciousness that I know myself to be. And yeah, by the way, I was in this other star system, and I just knew that that was the case. It wasn't like I had to work it out. I was just an inner knowing. Yeah, by the way. And yeah, right. So these kinds of experiences, and so I was, kind of, my mind might, mad monkey mind might jump and go, oh, they're gonna just like come in a van and men in white coats take you away, kind of thing, because that's what we've got, right, as a kind of societal fear, right, that we're going to be labeled as crazy or some other, right, dysfunction. And actually reality does not conform to these societal ideas of what is real. And that's part of the bravery of being a seeker. Part of the bravery of stepping out is loving yourself enough to allow yourself to experience these things and be a coherent human being in the midst of it all, right? As wacky, wondrous, wild things and phenomena are happening. So you're probably just having a spiritual awakening if you feel like you might be going crazy. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not a psychiatrist. But if you're watching this video, it's highly, 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 highly likely that that might be going on for you, that it might actually be a spiritual awakening process. And, please feel free to write in the comments any kind of experiences you're having, fears, beliefs, limitations, excitements, insights that you're having or have had, experiences, so we can kind of get more context here. And perhaps if a few of us comment, it's like, yeah, well, actually I thought I was going bonkers, or I feared I was going bonkers, or my partner, which is another one, right, your partner thinks you're kind of going crazy or something because you're not conforming anymore to the norms. You're talking about crazy things like number synchronicities, or you saw a light, an orb, or you felt that person's emotions, or you heard their thoughts, or right. And so these are all these non-conforming experiences and phenomena that are the unexplained, which actually I got really excited and interested about when I was 10 years old. And that basically was my gateway, doorway in to the esoteric, to spirituality, to understand awakening and start meditating and everything else, and going in on my journey. So I hope that has been helpful. Again, I'll happily respond to your comments if you have any experiences that you want to share, that you want my feedback on. And because believe me, I've kind of seen it all, really seen it all. And I might be able to give you some helpful guidance around something that you might be going through, because you're not alone. You're not alone. And we can all come together and help each other, serve each other, and we're all in the same boat ultimately. And as the old paradigm shakes even more and quakes and begins to crumble even more as it is doing, then we can be here for each other. We can be here for each other. We can, be the rocks for each other to help understand, to help us be grounded as these extreme polarities of reality in this 3D world become more amplified as we go through this shift, this consciousness shift, right? And I've just started talking about that a bit more. It's a sensitive subject because it's easy to go into fear. It's easy to go into, oh my God, what's going to happen? Am I going to survive? And am I going to live? And all of that. And I'm really not about that kind of fear mongering and fear porn. I'm absolutely about, hey, let's come together. Let's go within. Let's navigate the shift and the changes from within. Let's meditate. And the more we go into that inner dimension, we open up to the 5D, to the new earth, and we experience reality in a different way that is totally beyond what is the norm, the 3D norm, the material world norm. Now, you know, one wonderful thing I think I heard Ram Dass say, it might have been Ram Dass, was, you know, if you think you're enlightened, go and have dinner with your parents. And I wanted to kind of leave on that note that your parents, you know, love them or hate them, they gave you life, and they gave you your specific, they gave us our specific patterns to work through. And, you know, some of your shadow self might be showing up in your relationship with your parents. And so they may or may not be good people to talk about if you feel like you're going crazy or wondering if you're going crazy having a spiritual awakening. Because if they are holding those shadow aspects that are within you and reflecting them, then they might kind of get worried and kind of go, hold on a minute. So, yeah, caveat there. And also, you know, careful who you share your wacky, wild, mystical experiences with and your big dreams with as well. Because small minds are the crushers of dreams, are the crushers of joy and love, and will suck power away from us. So just wanted to share that at the end. Like, be mindful, be aware who you share your experiences with and who you take advice from as well. Because again, sharing your mystical, wild, crazy experiences with the wrong person could cause you suffering as they try to control you or police you or censor you. And it's just something to be aware of, not something to fear, but to be discerning with who you share your experiences with. And so that's another thing, is why it could be good to work with a teacher, a spiritual coach like myself, because I understand. You know, those of us who've been on the journey a long, long time, like I have, you know, we understand. It's a sensitive subject, it's a sensitive issue, and you don't want to be, you know, on the defensive. You don't want to be trying to censor yourself all the time. You want to have a loving presence that is aware and wise and knowledgeable to share your intimate experiences with, your deepest, wildest phenomena with that you're experiencing. And, you know, it be a non-judgmental space, because that's where we flower most, is in non-judgmental safe spaces. So I just wanted to round up with that. Be discerning with who you share that with, until such a time that you're so experienced at sharing and so clear about who you are and so sure about what your experience is and your sanity, that you're enjoying it, right? And you're not afraid of what others think anymore. you're bold and courageous, and you've really worked that muscle. So yeah, hope this has been helpful. Please again share anything you've experienced in the comments, anything you would like feedback on from me. Anyone else? Sending you so much love here from Crete, the island of Crete, the beautiful island. Here we are in the north of Crete. Isn't it gorgeous? My goodness. Yeah, do remember to like, comment, subscribe, share this video, and hopefully see you in the next one. And yeah, my website's jodydene.co. If you'd like more help with this, you feel free to book a call with me, free call with me, Accelerator calls I'm offering at the moment. So just use the link in the description and do that, or just comment Accelerate and I'll get you a link for that. All right, blessings to you. May you go well on your spiritual journey, on your spiritual path, and anything you need, let me know. All right, blessings. And don't forget to meditate. Meditate every day if you can, because that's where we really integrate this and build that consciousness muscle, that awareness muscle, so we can be more discerning and more balanced and understand that we're not our thoughts. I'll make a video about that. But yes, okay, blessings to you. Love.